Good afternoon. An extremely discouraging trend is now firmly entrenched in the United States, which is that we're sending a message to the entire world that it's simply impossible to set up a factory in the United States. It's not just China, US either. It's anyone who wants to try anything, even the most friendly countries. Chile spent hundreds of millions of dollars to open a mine in Minnesota, and a federal judge there just killed the project. Volkswagen and Hyundai, both from friendly countries, are begging Washington to change the rules in the Inflation Reduction Act. Otherwise, their investments in the United States are going to lose a lot of money. We Americans already know how hard it is for American companies to do business now, especially for manufacturing. CATL is the world's biggest manufacturer of lithium-ion batteries. They have over 30% market share around the world, and CATL had ambitious plans to open factories in the United States to help our automakers build low-cost electric vehicles with CATL's low-cost electric vehicle batteries. They bought property in Kentucky, in Glasgow, Kentucky, with plans to hire 350 people there to make batteries for Ford Motor. Earlier this year, they gave up and put the Kentucky property up for sale. The Inflation Reduction Act contained specific rules that said by 2024, now, 50% of the critical materials used in electric vehicle batteries had to come from North America or its allies, and 80% by year-end 2026. Nobody can meet that threshold in 2024. And here's Volkswagen and Hyundai again saying, look, we're from allied countries and we can't meet these limits. CATL studied the rules carefully and they realized that they couldn't meet the rules either. They're better off shipping them from China, paying the tariffs, no matter how many subsidies are offered in the United States. And just because Washington says yes to a factory today, they may change their mind tomorrow and their investment is gone, like what happened to the Chileans in Minnesota. So they gave up and changed their business model for the United States. CATL's supply contract with Ford has also run into problems. Ford is investing $3.5 billion with plans to create over 2,000 jobs. CATL's batteries are very important for Ford because they can reduce the production costs of Ford electric vehicles. Ford wants to put CATL batteries into the Mustang electric SUV and their F-150 Lightning pickup truck. But the White House doesn't know what to do about the deal, and they're trying to figure out if buyers of those Ford vehicles are eligible for the $7,500 subsidy to buy electric cars. Washington wants to discourage car companies from working with Chinese companies, even though Chinese parts makers have the best and least expensive equipment. Ford has since restarted construction of their plant in Michigan, but CATL has decided not to bother with their own US plants at all for themselves. Instead, they're pursuing a licensing strategy. CATL is in negotiations with Tesla in addition to Ford, and CATL hopes that these partnerships will serve as a future model for CATL's work with other car makers in the US. Forget building plants, just insist that US car makers pay CATL for the batteries and let Ford and Tesla and other car makers deal with Washington. CATL is opening factories and plants in other countries though. It's only in the United States that they've decided it's just not worth the trouble or the cost or the risk to even try anymore. Here is South America, $1.4 billion investment by CATL in Bolivia. Bolivia was so excited that their energy ministry put out a press release about it. They explained the sovereign minerals model. Energy Minister Mr. Molina, China and Bolivia are sister nations. In Germany, politics aside, CATL is expanding there. Germany is a high-cost manufacturing country, remember. But Germany is much more friendly and open. Hungary is in East Europe, 7.3 billion euros that CATL will be putting in there. That's the world we live in now. Former Soviet bloc states are more attractive to foreign investment than we are in Kentucky and Michigan. Foreign companies wanting to set up in South America are treated like royalty, like co-equal business partners. Family even, sister nations is what he said. That's South America. But in North America, politicians in Washington will do everything to kill the projects. Or local politicians will. Or judges will. Or conservationists will. Or labor unions will. Red states, blue states makes no difference. And companies are crazy to even try. Shanghai Container Port. Be good.
And glorify your Father who is in heaven. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and all your soul, and all your mind. Love your neighbor as yourself.